Hello and welcome to this explainer video where we're going to talk about what a request is, what your daily quota is, how do we manage and count requests, and what happens when you reach your daily limit. So this is our server. This is where all of the information that you want from us actually lives. You have your live scores, your calendar with fixtures, your historical data, and all the events. Then you have your own code where your programmer or you have your software running, and somehow these two systems actually need to interact. So what happens is your software makes a request to our server asking for some data, and then we send it back. This is a similar situation to when you go to the restaurant and you start ordering food. So first you order a starter and then the waiter brings it back. Then you order the main course, then the waiter brings you more food. Then you ask for a dessert and then the waiter brings you even more food. In a similar way, every time when you ask our servers for information and we send it back, that's a request. And we count every one of these requests. So let's try looking into a real-life example of how requests work. Let's say we have a service that has 2 mobile app users and 1 website visitor, and then you also have a programmer. So one of the users says, "Oh, I would like to have all the live scores," and that's a request. Then the second app user says, "I would also like to have all the live scores," so that's a second request. Our website user, for example, would like to see the standings for the English Premier League, so that's not a request. And let's say our programmer is working on a feature that changes the color of the website when a football player receives a red card, so the whole website becomes red, and they need to test it. So they would like to see if there are any red cards in the events. So that's another request. So here we have 4 requests. At the moment of this recording, we have 2 packages, one with 14,500 requests per day and one with 50,000 requests per day. To put this into perspective with real-life examples, let's say you request live scores every minute. So that's 60 requests per hour times 24 hours. Or that would give you 1,440 requests for the whole day. This is only 10% of the smallest package quota. Let's say you want to get the scores twice every minute. So that would be 120 requests per hour. So for 24 hours, that will give you 2,880 requests. This is how we count requests. We only count the requests that you send to us using your API keys and secrets. So there are certain strategies you can implement in order to increase the amount of people you can serve with your application, with your website, and keep your usage with us within your daily quota. One such example is caching. You could cache the data on each device, for example, live scores. If one of your users is spamming your refresh button asking for live scores over and over again, I mean, how much can a football score change in 2 seconds? Another way of doing that is having a central cache or backend server that is between our server and your customers, like this one. So now every time your users, your visitors are accessing your service, they will actually talk to your server. And then your server could talk to our server, asking for the same data only once. So this is how we can transform 4 requests, if they're the same, into one. And with this setup, you could easily serve thousands of customers and just send a bunch of requests to us, which will keep you well under your daily quota. So here we have, for example, 4 requests. But what happens when your application becomes popular, more popular, more popular, and then you get hundreds, maybe hopefully thousands of people requesting information from our servers? In that case, instead of cutting off your access to our data, which in the time where you actually need it the most, if you go over your daily quota, then we switch to pay as you go situation, where you start paying a little bit more for a request that you send to us. You can think of your daily request as your gas tank for your car. So with one full gas tank, you can drive a certain amount of time. At one point, your fuel is over and you would like to put more so you can reach your destination if you haven't reached it yet. That's how the daily quota works. You have one full tank of daily quota, and then if you need more, you can pay a little bit more and then you will get it on the fly. And now you know what a request is, what a daily quota is, what happens if you go over your daily quota, and what techniques you could apply to actually make more usage of the quota that we actually give you. If you would like to know more about the services that we offer, you can always visit our website.